Welcome to Speedway Crazy Show, and tonight's guest is the German Speedway guy with a big character, Martin Smolinski. But before that, we will head over to Kuba in Poland.
Hello.
How's your evening, Kuba?
Nice.
Is it fun?
We have a great condition and weather condition, and it's beautiful night in
Yeah, it's great. In Piła, of course, Piła,
in Pila.
the big capital of Poland.
Yes.
So, how's this Speedway week been? I see there's a lot of practice going on in Poland, but we have a problem to get you into the stadiums to do your job. So,
Yes.
what's the issue? Tell us.
Media are banned for trainings, and only club media
Yep.
can in the stadium. And for example, me and you cannot be in a stadium where when the riders practice.
So this is the Corona restrictions.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's Corona restriction, and this is sad, but we have rules and
Yeah.
what we can do.
I saw some news on Sweden. I cannot confirm it like 100%, but I think I saw some news in Sweden that the elite series will have some spectators on the grandstands. How about Poland? Do you know anything about that? Will there be any spectators?
No, we haven't information for this. Maybe spectators can be on the stadium, but nobody knows.
Okay.
Like Lublin, maybe the track.
Yeah.
With,
With the lifts. Yeah.
yes,
That was amazing. I talked with Mark Lemon last week about that, and he said he never saw anything that cool. So yeah.
But many stadiums in Poland have a roof, and
in Torun it will be a problem, for example.
yes,
Yeah,
it's
of course.
exactly.
Okay, you will keep us updated further, and you will see if you can come into some stadiums.
Yes,
On the other hand, you're making sushi for people, so you're a great sushi
I will be.
chef, I heard. Yeah,
I will be.
yeah. We will try to get you in somewhere, but for now we have just to wait and hope the situation with the corona will slow down, of course,
Yeah.
all over, or maybe just disappear like that would be the best. Okay, thank you, Kuba, and we will see you more next week, okay?
Yes, okay.
Super, great. Weather in the Speedway Canvas today. Buy them at speedwaycanvas.com.
Good evening.
Good evening, Martin. We have probably there we have you on the camera.
Here
How
we
are
are.
you? How's life in Germany right now with the corona
Life is not-
situation?
No, I think the same like everywhere. You know, we're feeling very little bit. What should I say? You know, a little bit locked in. You know,
Yes.
so it's not the easiest way for everyone. You know, since this week the shops are a little bit more open again, and we can again out a little bit shopping. But when I go shopping for like clothing, I need to ask for an appointment, so it's not so easy. But we hopefully we can go throughout this lockdown and looking good.
Yeah. In my local area, it's more than 10 people in hospital. So here we shut down absolutely everything. Everything is closed now. So, but you can still go to the hairdresser if you like.
No, I can go again, you know, but you know that's the reason why normally
Yeah.
you know, I'm still in my lockdown mood, you know. We say you ask me, please don't wear a cap, you know, but I need to wear something because I look a little bit crazy, you know. So it's called a crazy show, but it's better to, you know, I want to look a little bit pretty, you know. So
I really
better
understand
like
you.
that,
But this 84 is quite nice. So
yeah, that's great. You know, it's you know, it's my CI, you know, so you have to wear it.
why 84?
I'm born 84, you know. I mean, in the old days, I was one of the first riders who think about the racing number. And when I joined the Speedway Grand Prix 2014, I make an official paper to the FIM. I was working very close together with manager of Greg Hancock, and we've been with the same meaning. And since 2014, since I'm in the Grand Prix, every Speedway Grand Prix rider is racing with a racing number. I had done the same before 2 years in Germany, so I've been 2013, 12 and 13. I had already my racing number in Germany on the long track, so I was a little bit a step ahead of everyone.
Yeah. But, you know, I introduced you as a guy with a big character, and you, along with Nicky Pedersen and others, you have big characters, and you also have a lot of fans.
Of course, I know. I think I'm a little bit of a character. You know, I would say sometimes I would say it's 50-50, or some people love me, some people hate me. But that's the way how it have to be. At the end, I have to be clever, because the people talking about me, and at the end we need to look for our racing supporters, and even especially need to look for all the clubs, because the clubs want to see sometimes the people, or even the riders. Some people want to get loved, and some people hate for me. And if they're coming 1,000 people and pushing beer bottles behind me, you know, they paid the entry, you know, so it's good for the club.
I told my grandmother that you will be the guest, like as soon as you approved, and she said, "Wow, Martin Smolinski, he's like this fairy tale guy from Germany, like this very great fairy tale guy." She really loves you, because she also see that you're doing other stuff than Speedway, you know. Also, but you also have this character which caught her attention also.
Yeah, it's thank you very much. Tell her thank you very much for the compliment.
She's watching right now.
Okay, that's nice. You know, tack så mycket. You know, thank you very much. So that's good. And you know, it's quite nice. You know, I'm a little character. You know, not only do Speedway, I even try to build up the sport a little bit. I do, especially in the winter days when I have time, or even beginning of the year. I do like training schools together with with my trainer George Hack. We normally always go to Italy, and this year we can't go because about COVID-19. Or we always arrange some fitness training camps for the kids. I make technical training for the kids. At the moment, I'm even working for and with the kids. I got some 250 bikes here, like bikes where I'm rebuilding and get the kids back on the track. So there's always plenty to do. And even in my free time, you know, I'm doing some engine tuning for some other people. I'm quite involved in vintage car racing, you know, even like I'm a technical director of a vintage car museum. So that's a little bit of, yeah, that's my hobby, you know. So it's always, there's always plenty to do in my shop here.
But we all also need a hobby outside. But as I understand, you're also giving back to the sport by using your name and your fame and your knowledge, and giving it back to the kids and families. Am I right?
Of course, yeah. It's like a win-win situation. You have to work. It's like a giving and taking, you know. I would say the kids only can learn from the best riders. That's what we need to do.
Absolutely.
And I would like to give something back. It's not so easy with some old riders. When I was growing up, I didn't have much old riders that want to give me something back or help me. It's sometimes not easy, you know. Even in this age, we had some riders that never really helped us. I must say a big thank you very much to my friend Egon Müller. You know, he teaches me quite a lot about the marketing situation, what to do, how to do it, and I think I have a very good setup around me, and this is that's good, you know. So I just I'm happy with the way how I am.
Yeah, because Egon Miller was one of these guys who was early out with this marketing stuff, and really saw the power in that for the sport. Absolutely. So you have a good trainer there.
Yes, I have.
But how long you been into Speedway? Why Speedway? Why not something else? Not playing tuba or something, you know? Yeah.
It's in the heart, you know. No, it's keep it very simple, you know. We can say no brakes, no fair, no limits. We got action every 2 minutes, you know. We're racing elbow to elbow, you know. No brakes, no fair, no limits. You can see every 2 minutes a start, you know. When I'm watching a Formula 1 heat, you know, like I like the start because it's close and hard, you know. And afterwards I fall asleep, and when I wake up again I see, Mr. Vettel was winning, you know? In the Speedway, you know, you always like, you have every 2 minutes start, you got action, you're racing elbow to elbow, you can see everything what's happening on the track, you know. even as a supporter fan, you're sitting out there, you can see every millimeter, every movement. You see all 4 riders on the track, so you can see what's happening. You can gamble with your friends who will be the winner. It smells super, super nice, like the methanol, with richness all, and at the end, it's 100% ecologic, because methanol is burning to water damp, and it's very good for the economy, So that's the reason why I love Speedway. And I'm living in Olking. My parents, I can say thanks to my parents, they've been quite big Speedway supporters and fans when I've been a young boy and when they've been young. And my daddy been commentator at the track in Olking. He's now commentator at Landshut. My mom was youth director of the club, and I would say I was, I was growing in as a childhood in there, And they pushed me in the trolley already out there when I was a small boy. And when I was a young boy, not sure where it was, but it must be around 1990, I would say, or maybe earlier or later. But I was a small man who had some flowers in my hands and I gave it to Jason Crump, and I said, hey, I want to be like you, and 10 years later, I would say 15 years later, I'm standing with him on the gate and beat him.
Big applause for that. So we kind of have the same history then, because I'm also born into the Speedway sport with my grandfather, who was a world rider. So I really see that. I never heard that story about you before. I really wanted to know how you got into the sport. This is very interesting. What about Speedway European Championship and Speedway Grand Prix and your future? We heard that in 2019 you had an accident. Tell us a little bit about that and what happened to the Grand Prix and everything for you.
Been a bit unlucky. Since 2019, the first step was 2019. I broke my collarbone. I was racing for the long track world gold medal, and I was trying to defend my title. And I was a bit over pressure. I won maybe a little bit too hard, and I broke my shoulder. But I've been ready for the new season 2020, and everything run after plan. Then we had COVID-19, who was coming into everyone's life, So we didn't know what's happening, what brings the future, when we can race, how we can race, where we can race. And then we wasn't allowed to go for practice in Bavaria. We wasn't go allowed to traveling out over to Italy, so there was nothing allowed. And then I had the possibility to go to practice to Leipzig, and all my bikes being prepared. Everything was very nice. I had an awesome day. I would say I was mentally not 100% fit, because I wouldn't say not fit, but I was in the brain not, for what should I go practice?
I understand,
It was the same situation what we all have, when we can go for holiday. I'm a person who like to look for something and see what's happening out there, what we can do. And but there was nothing to look for. I enjoyed this day. That we had an awesome practice day. I invested time. We had a lot of young kids out there at Leipzig at the racing day there, and I was teaching the kids. I showed them how to race. I went out with the kids, raced in front of them, gave them a lot of tips. And at the end of the day, I would say, okay, I finished my job with teaching them, because as an instructor, because the club asked me to be an instructor at this racing or at this practice day. And I say, come on, we will try a little bit on my own stuff, because all the kids been already tired. So I went out there, I done some laps, and I didn't be 100% right there. I was a little bit not 100% concentrate, take a little bit easy, having some fun. My chassis being not perfect, the tire was a little bit tired, and I went into the corner, I accelerated out the corner, lifting up the front wheel a little bit, went down in the corner, turned in the bike, was everything looking perfect. Yeah. And from one to the next moment, I completely lost my back wheel, spinned around 60 degrees, and I was hitting the air fence, very unlucky on a position where there's no air fence, so I went straight wall, and it was a little bit unlucky, went forward, I just been a little bit unlucky accident, we have this accident on television. There was a cameraman who made this movie, but I don't want to push it out there at the moment, when I win the next world championship, I will show, where I get through, so this is my goal.
Yeah, because you've been fighting yourself up in 2019. You said no thank you to have the spot in the Grand Prix. Was it? Yeah. And,
Yeah, I mean, it's been. I had the opportunity, I must say, Jack Hancock says he's getting retired, and was the first reserve rider.
Yeah.
And a big thank you very much to BSI Speedway that I believed in me, because I'm still quite a strong rider. Even I've been unlucky in the Grand Prix Challenge the year before, because some start Marshall couldn't account from 1 to 4. He was just accounting to 3, and but that's racing at the end. So I've been in the Grand Prix, but I've been unlucky, and. I went into the Grand Prix, and I tried very hard after my injury. I was sitting on the bike 9 weeks after this heavy accident that broke my hip. I had, it's called a Pipkin 4 fracture. Pipkin 4 means the femur head was broken and the hip was completely damaged. My femur head was standing off the right side of my body, so it didn't look so good. But I had a very good physio team around me, and it looks everything very good. Then I went for 4 weeks to a health farm, to be 100% to practicing every day and do everything good. But I must say I've been unlucky, and we had to decide I won't be fit for the Speedway Grand Prix. I could race, I could sit on the bike, I can go around, but at the end it wasn't. I wasn't 110% fit, so we decided early enough. 2-3 weeks before. I was very in close cooperation with, I must say, Phil Morris. The technical,
yes.
the race director. He's a super man, and I think we've been calling nearly every week about that, and we see how it's happening, what we're going to do. But at the end, I had a big, long team meeting with my doctors, with my team, with my physiotherapist, and we say it's the best what we can do. We stop the Speedway Grand Prix. We won't be back for this season. We try, and I need to look for my health for the future. And, so we say we gave the second rider the opportunity, to not be ready like 2 days before. Hey, you need to race on Saturday in the Grand Prix, That's, I think it's... we try to cooperate and acting in a very sporting hero. It's not. I know how it is to be the first reserve, and you wait there always until Thursday night. Do you get a call? Do you don't get a call? And so that was the way how it is. So I couldn't be in there, And this is and this year again, it's been it's very sad, because. The season started and everything was planned. I've been very happy, practicing a lot over the winter. I've been every day on on my pedal bike upstairs in my training room, and I done quite a lot, and I've been very comfortable. I've just been out. It's now 3.5 weeks ago. I went out to my doctor, and we made some checks. Like I have to go always for 3 months check and see what's happening. And they made an X-ray, and the femur head didn't look very well. There've been some of the metal pieces been touching. The doctor made a good operation, but throughout all the training I done, my hip moved a little bit back to the right position. And it was touching the femur head, and then the doctor says, we need to go as soon as possible for operation. Yeah. So I called all the guys. I called the doctor again, and everything happened quite quickly. At the moment, the pressure and everything, it's very good. Everything is healed. Everything is nice. But for my future plan, they put some very special material in my hip to do some. To building up my knorpel. I don't know the name in English,
Is this titanium alloy they use?
No, they put they put all the titanium, aluminium. They put everything out. They just put something small between the muscle. There's a small liquid between the bones, It's like. I'm not sure. I need to figure out. Maybe I can check out in a second. But I couldn't really know.
It's probably the same as building foam or something.
Yes, it's called, and I know it's called in Germany. We say a Knorpelvlies.
Yes.
And they build it in, and this vlies, and especially is like a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And this have to grow in now for 6 weeks, and then I can go back on the bike. So my plan is to be when I look about my time schedule here right now. I would like my Polish team, German Polish team, the AC Landshut Devils. They're going for practice for 1 week to Poland, end of March. And I'm very sad I can't join them because I'm not allowed to. But we have the first practice at Landshut, the official, top secret with all the professional riders on the Easter weekend. That will be 3rd and 4th of April, 5th and 6th April. And I will plan to be there on the bike and just have a feeling. How does I'm feeling? When a doctor gave me the okay, I will sit on the bike and have a little bit fun. and the days later, I think I will go for properly practicing going to Italy or maybe to Croatia to do like 1 week properly practice and go back in charge again.
Yeah, because then you're mentally more fit. Also, you're more ready for now is the time. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then maybe when I'm a little bit lucky, at the moment, no one knows what's happening, but we already in Germany have a lot of meetings called off. The first long track GP in Herxheim, I think it's already not it's called off, but they're already looking for a different date. Yeah. We have some European Championship heats already called off, so we will see what's happening in the whole situation.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And maybe even in Poland, they're talking to start the season 1 month later. Yeah. And, so we'll see what's will happening. But I think hopefully we can go again. We can see all each other again in May. Going back on a bike, inclusive supporters, because we need the fans. Racing without fans don't make fun. So hey fans, we love you, we need you, because Speedway without you is not good. So hopefully everything goes back to normal.
I read Swedish, I read in the Swedish media, I talked with Kuba a little bit earlier today about that, but they will probably open for fans in Sweden under the situations, how the situations are right now in the Swedish Speedway Elite Series. Probably. So I cannot say this 100%, but I saw something about that. But you will race for Marzana.
Yes, of course. I mean, Marzana. No, I'm really looking forward. I've been. I joined the team 2019 and I had a very nice season with Marzana Vesta. It's a very, they had some little bit cash flow problems, but I must say, I'm very happy at Marzana Vesta, and last week I've been with them on the radio station, and we announced I'm the team captain of Marzana Vesta.
Congratulations!
And last year we are the gold medal winners. I've been happy. I've been joining the team, but only on the paper, not on the racetrack because about my injury. But this year, I must say the big thank you very much to the club, because the club believed in me. They know the way how I am. They see me also as a character. I'm not more the youngest man in the speedway sport, but I'm still a very quick man, and I think I know how to teach riders and even how to grow up with a team together. And this is quite nice, and I'm very happy to be back in Marzana in Sweden. I'm looking forward to start on the 4th of May. It's the first league match at home, and I would love to be back out there and hopefully with fans, so we can have a nice atmosphere again in the stadium.
Absolutely, we just miss that a lot, and I still have my tickets for Warsaw Speedway Grand Prix, which is moved from last year to
this year.
I think August this year. Yeah, so I really hope, and I really don't care if I have to sit 14 days or 1 month in quarantine coming back to Norway. I will do that gladly. I will sit in my house down. I can make television still in my studio. It doesn't matter. I will gladly do that. I will gladly do that. So this rule in Poland, how does this rule affect you, that you are not allowed to drive for more than 1 or 2 clubs? How does this rule affect you?
To me personally, it don't affect me really, because I decided this year to only race in the Polish league with the Transam F RC Landshut Devils.
Yes.
Then on the next point, I race in the Swedish league, so I would be allowed to have 2 more leagues, so I could join maybe the Danish league or even the English league.
Okay. Yeah.
I had before my operation, or even I would say in January, I've been quite in touch with my old club in Birmingham to race back in England, and they offered me a contract. And we negotiating quite a lot what's happening, but at the moment the situation in England is not so easy for me as a German man, with all the Brexit situation, traveling, and even now with my injury. So I decided to step away from this league and even be focused on this what I can. So the focus for me for 2021, it's like to racing in the German league with like the Polish league with Landshut and the Polish league with Sweden. And I think the rule book is very sad for some other clubs,
Yeah,
especially,
I see that.
I understand in Poland the sport is very professional. They made a very good job, but you can't build up only Polish speedway riders. You know, you need to also give the chance to other speedway riders. And I think when you look about, especially maybe Jason Doyle, he was one of the riders who affected us most because he's a man, he want to race day in and day out, you know. So he loved to sit on a bike every day, you know, and he was racing in England, Poland, Sweden, Denmark, and he gave up now in England, you know. And this is very bad for England because he was living in England, he was based in England. For him, it was a very hard decision to make this decision, and I think that's been very sad. And we will see what's happening.
Just a quick question. Many people ask me about this, and maybe you can answer it. When you are racing, you're from Germany or from Europe, the mainland Europe. When you're racing in Great Britain, how do you get your bikes over in time, or do you have a set of bikes ready?
I think the most speedy riders, if you know, I think when I go for me personally now, the way how I'm working, always try to base my bikes in the country where I'm racing. My plan is always, or I had the years before, mostly I had 2 bikes and a completely team and a van in England, you know, so I always flew into England, was racing separately. And these days when I was racing, it was like maybe nearly 6-8 years ago, Sweden, Poland, England, Denmark. I had one team completely in England, you know, that the runs completely separate. I had a full-time mechanic and I done with him, I had 2 bikes in Poland based, you know, with a Polish mechanic, and he was a full-time mechanic. We've done together the north of Germany, then we done Denmark and Sweden together, a lot of traveling, and sometimes I had even 2 more bikes down in the south where I'm living in Bavaria, and 2 bikes in here, and always hired a van from a friend, so we had always been based, you know. And this year I do it a little bit different. I got when I go to Sweden, I leave all my material in Sweden. Masana Vesta is quite up in the north. It's always a long way for me.
It's quite far to go there.
From my place, it's 1,600 kilometers to drive. You know, it's a long way to drive. So I got a super mechanic in Sweden. Big thank you very much to Alexander Liljeqvist, a good friend of mine, and he always preparing my bikes. And so he's a good man over there and a good team. So I got a workshop over there. I leave my van in Sweden. They do my bikes, and I got a mechanic over there, and I just fly in, do the race day, and you know, I can travel home. So it's for me as a person, and even for my teams, it's very good because I like to even keep it safe for my riders. And I saw already a lot of mechanics, they've been traveling home after race day, they're in a rush, they need to go, and they're crashing on the way. This is not so easy, especially with all the deers, with the moose, you know, in Sweden.
I know.
I leave the material over there, but all the rest is like, I got then 3 speeder bikes here, Germany based, and 2 more long trip bikes, and we're working out from here. So it's a super nice van from Opel AMZ, you know. I got some super good sponsors, I can say. They supported me with super nice vans.
That's so important, so important.
And that's very, very important, and this is super good, you know. So I can say it's good. And in this case, I can say when we talk about sponsors, you know, you can't do the sport without sponsors. I would like say a big thank you very much to all of my sponsors. I can lift me up a little bit, you know. I can read them
course.
You know, so everything is quite important, you know. It doesn't matter who they are, you know, like Anlas Tires, you know, Transamaf, you know, Schäfermatten, you know, they're making super nice floors, Smoko Company, you know. Then you got AMZ, you know, they're all super nice, all Fina Racing Oil, P Collection, Clever Rio, you know, Super Motorsport, and especially one of my biggest sponsor here, you know, you can see him, I must get around. He's Mr. McDonalds, you know, Mr. Timmy, you know, that's a super man, you know, and big thank you very much. They also.
Are you sponsored? Many people ask this question too. Are you sponsored by McDonald's in Germany, all of Germany, or is this a local guy which really loves Speedway?
This is a local person. He got 12. I think he got 12 McDonald's shops. A lot of them are in Kloppenburg, near Bremen, or near Bremen there are some, and the second half of the company they got 4 or 5 in Leipzig, you know. So so up in the north they're quite big, and they have a very good network, and I think they made a very good job, and I can say, without sponsors I'm nothing.
Of course. The sponsors is doing everything. Also for us with our show here, we also rely on help from sponsors to run this, and every part of the speedway sport could never survive without sponsor help. We would be nothing at all. I will say thank you, Martin, because this been a lot of information from you, and you're just a great guy. We really want to have you as a guest a little bit later in the season, so we can see how it's going with you, with your injury and returning, come back into the speedway, and see how the season will go. Would that be okay with you?
I think that's no problem. I'd always love to come back. It's even the fans should see something, and even like to do, even talk with the fans. I think today we have a lot of German fans. They follow us, and I say Dankeschön alle meine Freunde und Fans. Speziell die Freunde der Wall of Friends. Now muss ich ein bisschen. I need to speak a little bit German.
No problem.
Danke meine Freunde der Wall of Friends. Ihr seid einfach spitze. Wunderbar. Ohne euch würde es auch nicht gehen. Und auch an alle anderen Fans. Ihr seid einfach super, super geil. I can say in Swedish, tack så mycket to all my friends. Varsågod, looking forward to go back to Sweden, and even say hello to all my English fans, and even all the fans around the world, and even hello to all the fans who hate me, because you switched on the television, see what I talk, so this is quite nice, and that's.
You will not have many haters after this, because you proven to the world that okay, you're a character and